Okay, so more foundational stuff. Imagine that. So this kind of pertains to how we relate to our bodies and this process, right? You can call it your healing process if that feels like good to you. It definitely is, but I also know that I feel like I hear that term so often that it's a little eye rolly at some points. Anyways, I digress. Sometimes we can kind of feel like, why do I feel so shut down? Why can't I feel anything? Why does everything feel tense or frozen or numb or just stuck? I don't know. Those were some of the most common questions I had when I started nervous system work. And so if you've ever had any of those questions or just felt like your body doesn't cooperate, maybe like you're doing something wrong because the idea of accessing like presence or ease feels super far off. Again, let's reiterate, you are not alone and you are not broken and nothing is wrong with you. I know that might be a little hard, but I promise you, what you're feeling is your body doing what it learned to do over time with lots of repetition and with an incredible intelligence. I think that's one of the things that shifted for me. I definitely came into this work feeling broken, feeling like there must be something wrong with me. I'm doing something wrong, right? And having that shift to like understanding what the body was doing, and then giving mad respect to the level of intelligence that I'm actually walking around with in this body of mine, right? Your nervous system is always your friend, I promise you. It is working on your behalf all the time. And one of its main jobs, right, survival, it's constantly scanning for threat and safety. It wants to keep you alive. Thanks, nervous system. Appreciate you. So if you grew up in an environment that wasn't safe, like to feel, emotionally, physically, relationally, right, your body adapted to that. It may have learned to go numb. It may have learned to disconnect from particular sensations or sensation as a whole. You may have learned to hold constant tension, which is known as bracing. I'm a queen at bracing. And you also may have learned that being very still, very quiet equals safety, because maybe expressing yourself led to punishment, right? But these responses that your body has figured out, remember, they didn't come from nowhere. They came from your system trying to protect you. Excuse me, I'm burping. That's what we talk about when we say somatic memory. Remember, soma, maybe you don't know. I guess I haven't said this yet. Soma means of the body. So somatic memory means that your memory is not just in your brain, but it actually, like, it's not just in your thoughts and your stories, but it's actually held in your body, in how you breathe, in the tension or relaxation of your shoulders, in your pelvic floor, right? The way your body moves or the way that it doesn't move, in the way that you flinch or freeze, right? Like, your body is brilliant. It built these patterns, but they're not to punish you. They're not to cause you discomfort. They're there to protect you, right? Even if they're super inconvenient when you get down the line and you are totally safe, right? But I guess the biggest thing I want to bring to this video is that these protective patterns, they got reinforced over time, right? So say you were 3 and 2 or 3 and some patterns started to, with your caregivers, started to be repeated, and it was a sympathetic activation, right? Where your body is figuring out some way to keep itself safe, right? Well, that built a pattern when you're very young, and your neuroplasticity is very high when you're a child because it's building all new patterns. Well, then every time a situation that is somewhat similar, how you feel about that situation is somewhat similar to what happened, it'll take that pattern, right? So every single time your system feels that way, overwhelmed, safe, um, it will go into that tension, that bracing, the freezing, the numbness, right? And it keeps getting reinforced because it's the path of least resistance. These patterns didn't form overnight, and they will not unwind overnight either, okay? So that's a very important thing to understand about this work. Will it shift, and will you make change, and will you notice things changing? Yeah, if you stay with it, 100%. I'm a completely different person than I was 5 years ago because of this work. But it is oftentimes a very slow and subtle process, okay? Because your body had millions of reps practicing these protective responses. Millions of bracing and disconnecting and surviving, right? So to not ask questions or to sort it out in the moment is what your body's job is. It's just to protect you. So it's going to do it over and over and over again. All right? Again, maybe not super convenient now, but thank you, body. Like, thank you for protecting me and conserving energy while doing so, because that's also part of what it's trying to do, right? Again, so when you start something new, like the work we do, slowing down, softening, or even just trying to feel into new sensations, it's gonna feel weird, maybe uncomfortable, right? But that's not a problem. That's just a sign you're doing something different, okay? Of course it feels unfamiliar. You're doing like a rep in a new pattern against the one that has a million reps in, right? And so this new one, it's not familiar yet. Just like strength training or learning an instrument or building any skill, you build reps like one at a time, and you learn, and those they get stronger and they get easier and you get more adept at them. The muscles build, right? That's what we're doing here. We're not trying to force change, won't work. And we're also not trying to like erase your protective patterns, won't work. We're building new reps. We're building new reps. We're building a new road, right? But you don't need to judge the old reps either. They served you. They got you here. That's a great thing. That's a really good thing, right? You adapted. You learned how to stay safe in situations where you felt there was no other option. That's what it's there for. So now we're saying to the body, thank you, body. Thank you. You did a really good job. And now we're safe enough to try something else. This is where compassion meets physiology. Because when you stop seeing your tension or your numbness as like a shutdown, your tension, your numbness, or your shutdown as a flaw, and you start seeing it as intelligence, your whole relationship with your body can begin to shift. So the next time you notice that you're checking out or like on the edge, right? Or maybe you're noticing that you're numb, you're not feeling engaged at all. Just pause. Instead of asking like, what's wrong with me? Or why am I like this? Or why does it always feel this way? Maybe try asking like, what is this trying to protect me from, right? And that can be the doorway. Let that be the practice, right? Noticing, accepting, being curious about these things. Because what changes the pattern is understanding, not force or fixing. It's understanding. It's being able to hold it and be with it, right? And just remember, we're not doing this to become perfectly regulated all the time. That's not the goal. The goal is to have a relationship with your body that includes listening to it, honoring it, and choice about how we are in relationship with it and with our lives. And the more we understand why these patterns were formed, the less shame we can carry about them. The more we can meet them with curiosity instead of frustration. That works so much better. And in the next video, more science. I keep it easy though. I keep it easy. I don't nerd out on you guys. But we are going to talk about what I call the big, beautiful brain, my other BBB. I have the big belly breath and then the big, beautiful brain. Sometimes I call it the big bad brain. It depends on what mood I'm in. We talk about what its actual job is. Guess what? Survival. What its priorities are, survival. And how, again, understanding these priorities can kind of help us gently loosen our grip on things when we feel like they're not changing fast enough, right? Okay, but for now, just say with this. Your body is wise, super intelligent, always working on our behalf. I promise you. In the patterns, they're protective. They're a loving way that your body is trying to make sure you're okay. But new patterns, I should say, and new patterns are possible one rep at a time. We just work and eventually we build up the 1 million reps on the new pathway, and the body understands that, oh, this works a lot better. It's a lot easier. All right, I'll see you in the next video.